So, good morning, team, and a very warm welcome to the TrioTech software training program. This training program is around Oracle Fusion Financials Cloud, and wherein we already had a demo session last yesterday, and in that demo session we have covered various topics like what is ERP concept, what is Oracle Fusion Financial, what makes this product as one of the leading cloud-based ERP product available in the market globally, what are the some advantages of this product. So all those details we have covered in detail in the last session, right? So today, this is going to be a continuation of the same demo session, wherein we'll move a step ahead, where we'll talk about some more topics about Oracle Fusion's cloud, as well as we'll also have an understanding, basic understanding of the application. So we'll navigate to the application. We'll see some of the prerequisites that we are going to do in the application before we start doing the configurations and all, right? So those things will be able to cover. So this is also going to give you a look and feel of the application, how the application looks like, how the web-based application, web-based pages look like, right? And how easy to navigate to the application and perform some of the prerequisite setups, right? So all those things we'll cover in today's session. Now, as mentioned before, the program is conducted by the TrioTech Software Training Institute, and my name is Abhishek, a certified Oracle trainer, and I'll be taking training for this financial batch. And as highlighted earlier, no coding required. Means we'll not be doing any codings here. It's not a coding-based training program, and still we'll be learning in-depth knowledge we'll be having about the Oracle Fusion Financials product. Okay. Now, just a quick thing before we move ahead. Uh, the admin team is also here in this session. They have shared the enrollment links, so especially those students who have not completed their enrollments yet. So please connect with the admin team or just access the link which is given there in the chat, Zoom chat, access that. And also for the students who, for whom this is the first session, who are not able to attend yesterday's session, for them also, please connect with the admin team or the Zoom, the Google form link for completing the enrollment is already shared in the Zoom chat, so please access from there. All right, so let's move ahead with the today's agenda. Let me open the next slide. So a quick introduction about myself, especially for the students who have just joined today only. So my name is Abhishek Kumar. I'm an Oracle Certified Implementation Specialist. I have an overall experience of 12 plus years in Oracle consulting. And during this tenure, I worked with multiple Oracle Fusion Financials implementation project in various regions, including US, UK, Middle East, Singapore, Australia, and multiple other countries I've worked in. And also, as a part of the training program, I have delivered more than 30 plus training programs, corporate training programs, where the objective of training program is to train the corporate individuals who are the end users of Oracle to upskill themselves, them in the field of Oracle Fusion Financial Consulting. And along with that, I have completed the regular batches, just like yours. 20 plus training batches has been successfully completed, and based on these training programs, our students are already working in multiple Oracle consulting companies, right? So that we have shared some examples yesterday also, we'll have it today also, right? And in terms of work experience, I've worked with multiple mid-size and mid-size companies, including Big Four, Deloitte, Oracle, EY, PwC, etc., right? And now let's move ahead with the today's agenda, right? So some basic meeting norms. Again, you need to repeat these norms. So recordings we are doing, we'll be uploading these recordings in the official platform. Any queries, any questions you have, feel free to put it in the chat. Jim chat will handle those or will answer those with the help of my admin team. And at the end of the session, we'll be having a dedicated question and answer. So any questions related to product, training, career, feel free to ask the same. Okay. Now, With this, let's move to the agenda that we are going to cover in today's meeting. So we'll start with the training outcomes, right? So one of the important questions, what exactly we are looking for as an outcome after the successful completion of this training. We'll have a discussion of the various types of work profiles. So in a summarized way, we have discussed different types of work profile yesterday also. Today we'll have a detailed discussion. So different types of work profiles that are available in the market globally. We'll talk about the implementation companies which are involved, all the parties involved. It's the development company, consulting company, end user company, so that you are familiar with the concept. After that, we'll move to the second part of the session wherein we will navigate to the application. We'll see how to navigate to the application, how to perform the basic setups or basic navigation related tasks. So those preliminary activities we will be doing here as a part of the agenda. And that is what going to make you familiar with the Oracle Fusion UI and the navigational components, right? Because going forward from tomorrow, we'll be having regular classes wherein we'll be starting discussing the various concepts, various implementation phases, and then also the configuration items that we are going to do with the application. So one by one, we are going to cover it from tomorrow. And today we'll be having a basic understanding of the application, make you familiar with the application. Okay. And what you should be expecting at the end of the session after the session ends. So one thing that you need to make sure that your enrollment process is completed, because going forward it will not be as the same link of different meeting links will be shared based on the enrollment completion for the regular classes, as well as all the relevant documents and links, right? So you'll be having the links for the TrioTech portal to access the recordings. You'll be having the server access, right? So all those will be shared with the students once the enrollment gets completed, right? So make sure that you have already done that, because maybe if you have not completed, then maybe going forward you'll face the issues while connecting in the meeting or while joining the daily classes. Okay. So anything you need in terms of the assistance to connect with the APT. Okay. Now, let me move ahead with the first topic for today, training outcomes, right? So especially this is something which is a pretty new thing for the fresher students that we have in the batches. So what exactly we should be expecting once the training completes in terms of the product, right? So what exactly we should be looking for. So here I have given some of the key points that is going to help you to understand what exactly as an outcome we should expect out of this training program. So one is the product knowledge. So whether it's a fresher student or an experienced student who have the subject matter knowledge in some other ERP project products or some the previous version of the products, right? So for them, the training program has been designed to enhance the product knowledge, right? So why I'm saying enhance the product knowledge? Because we are not doing only the functional testing. Means we are not testing the application without knowing what is the background configuration. That is not what we are doing. We are building up an application right from the scratch. So whatever you are going to configure, based on that, we are going to test the front end functionalities, which means anytime when I'm doing the front end functionalities, whichever module it is, whichever business process it is. So at the same time, I'm very much aware that how these functionalities are working, what is the backend configuration that we have done in order to achieve this functionality, right? Along with that, we'll also be looking into the best practices, right? So whatever configuration we are going to do, right, that are not going to be as it is like, okay, we have taken a configuration workbook, copy paste the configuration. No, we'll be discussing the real time implementation issues or real time implementation requirements, right? What kind of requirement we receive from the business? What are the best industry practices that we are going to deal with the business or implement in the business, right? Then and there, I'll be sharing my project experience that I've done so far, whatever learnings that I have gathered by working across the multiple legislations, multiple industry project implementation experience that I have. So based on that, whatever the best practice that we suggest or that we propose in any given business environment, so all those discussions around that we'll be having. So that is going to enhance your product knowledge, as well as that is also going to upskill your product knowledge, right? So upskill means the best practices, right? So let's say the system is capable of doing multiple configuration, but what we are going to propose in any given business environment, what is going to be best business practice, what are the advantages of the various options that we are going to propose, disadvantages and all, right? All those is going to help you out in upscaling your product knowledge, right? And this is something very important. So if you compare that, there is a student who is working with or any of the Oracle consulting company who's pretty new to the technology, right? So maybe the case he'll be trained for a few weeks on the product and how the product work, but he may not be really aware at the time of implementation what are the scenarios or how to deal with the business requirements. He may not be aware. And that is the overall idea of this training program, is not only train you guys on the product, but also train you around the best business practices, so that anytime when you are working on a given project environment or given business implementation environment, so you are aware that these are the possible options that we can have in the system, and these are going to be some of the best globally best practices that should be always be delivered, right? So that is where we uh, look forward to give you the product knowledge, along with upskilling your product knowledge is something that we look forward through this training program. Now, second one here is secure a job in the Oracle domain. Look, ultimately the objective is that only, to secure a high-paying job as per the industry norms. So whatever the industry norms are, so as per the industry norms, we should be able to secure a job in Oracle domain. Right. So normally you'll see if any freshers who's relatively new to the technology, who's not uh, uh, who has not well versed with the product, right? When he tries to join any given operation, right? So that is where the issues are with the pay packages, right? So fresher students are, in comparison to one who already have experience, are paid less, right? Not as per the industry. And that is where our objective is, to make the students at par with terms of the product knowledge, so that they're able to secure that high paying jobs on the very first day of their employment, right? And how we are going to do that, right? So normally what happens if you're joining as a fresher without any background, right? So the companies, they have to spend their resources and time to train you, right? And the normal duration of those training is going to be somewhere between 2 to 4 months, or somewhere even 6 months, right? So that is where generally the students are not, or the employee, as an employee or as a consultant, we are not that productive, right? We cannot be deployed on a product. So ultimately, not to generate any revenue, it is going to be a cost for the company, right? That is how actually it works. But let's say you are trained enough on the very first day, you are aware of the Oracle concept, you know how the configurations are done, you know how the what are the best practices, right? What are the end-to-end scenarios which are there, right? If you are very well aware of that, so even the companies would be preferring that, yes, this is the student or this is the consultant who can be deployed in any assignment on the very first day or very first week of deployment, right? So that is where it is going to help you out in securing or in negotiating that pay package as per the industry norms, right? So that is something which is very important. Enhanced subject knowledge, right? Enhanced subject knowledge. So this is especially for the ones where you already are aware in terms of different technology, different ERP product. You are already aware of the concept, or you have working experience or training experience in some of the organization where you're well aware on the business processes, but you're not aware on the system wide side, that how system works, how the business processes are mapped, right? So that is where one of the objective is to enhance your subject matter knowledge, not only in terms of the system, but also how the actual business processes work in real time, right? So that is where we'll be discussing the system functionalities, we'll be discussing the real-time business process, how it works outside the system, and how to map it in the system. Something we'll understand here. Next one is learn about end-to-end implementation cycle. So this is very important in terms of any product implementation that you're going to do for any business, right? Let's say you're working as a part of Oracle consulting team in any given business. corporate companies you're working with, and though that is responsible, that particular company is implementation company responsible for implementing the product for any end user company, right? So the implementation always follows a specific set of best practices that is called implementation cycle, right? Overall end-to-end implementation cycle where multiple stages are there, right? So generally you'll be getting more exposure on that as and when you are working on the actual projects, right? And that is how everyone gets the exposure. But what we are doing here, we are going to cover those cycles right away here. That these are the cycles that we are going to follow into day to the day-to-day implementation. These are going to be the inputs. These are going to be the output. This is how we are going to manage the individual project stage and all, right? So by the end of the training program, you're very well aware if I'm going to implement a product for any given organization, what are the stages, what I'm supposed to do in each of these stages. That is something which will be clear on the very first day. And that is where the major struggle is, right? If you're not aware of the uh, product implementation stages, right? Which generally, even business teams or even the consulting companies, they don't tell, right? They only train you on the product with limited features and all, right? So if you're not aware, the real struggle begins when you're deployed on any assignment where you don't know what exactly I need to do as a consultant there, right? So that is where we discuss in detail end-to-end implementation cycle. All our implementation that we are going to do as a part of this training program is based on those implementation cycles only, so that when you move or when you successfully move ahead after the completion of this training program, when you're deployed on a project, you are very well aware what exactly I need to do in implementation, what are the stages, what is the expected input and output of the stages of the project implementation. Okay. Now, just for the fresher students, some terminologies that I've used: product, project, and all, right? Product means implementation of Oracle Fusion. We are going to implement Oracle Fusion in any business organization who is willing to adopt Oracle as their ERP platform. Project means when we implement the overall task or assignment, we call it as implementation project, right? So those things are going to be there. And last and not least, prepare for certification. So just for your information, uh, there is an Oracle University who offers the professional certification in Oracle Fusion Financials. Not only in financial, overall ERP certifications are there. Module-wise certifications are there. You have for your general ledger, you have for accounts payable, you have for receivables and multiple other modules, right? Same way for the supply chain also, it's there. Human capital also it is there. Those certification examinations are conducted by Oracle University, and this training program is also helpful in preparation of those certifications, because many of you might also be planning that going forward I'll be appearing for the certification. So the question is, how am I going to prepare? What exactly need to prepare? So training program has been designed in a way where we are even going to cover the part in terms which are going to be useful for preparation of your certification exam. So you'll be getting a clarity that if I'm going to appear for a certification exam, how exactly I need to prepare for those certification exams, right? Again, it's a Oracle university thing, right? So it's paid certification that is offered, not a mandatory thing as such that if I'm going to apply for a job in Oracle domain, then on the very first day I should be having certification. It's not a mandatory condition, but many of the students prefer to have as an value addition in their profile. So that is where we can cover that part also. All right, now let's talk about the roles here, team. What exactly we should be expecting in terms of roles and all, right? So give me a second. Let me check if anyone is there in the waiting room. All right. So what exactly in terms of roles, or where exactly in terms of role we should be expecting a job opportunity, right? So there are multiple places where the job opportunities are there. What are the roles? What are the different companies, or what are the different partners, right? So basically, one is the vendor company. Vendor company means the product company who has developed this product, which is Oracle Consulting, right? Oracle Corporation US. Consulting companies are those companies who has industry-wide experience in implementing Oracle for various end user companies, right? So these are the companies who have subject matter expertise, who has industry-wide expertise in implementation of Oracle. End user companies means who are actual users of the Oracle. Let's say there's a bank, HDFC Bank, who want to switch to Oracle as their preferred platform of ERP, right? So is HDFC is going to implement by themselves? Answer is no. They need an implementation partner who has a subject matter expertise, industry-wide expertise, right? So therefore, they have consulting companies which are available, and ultimately it's the vendor company who's going to give the subscription because they own the product, right? So there are different categories roles. Now, wide variety of roles are there, right? Company to company, the naming convention of the roles may be different, right? But these are some of the key roles that you'll see available in terms of the job opportunities. One is the implementation consultant, where you are working as an implementation consultant for a consulting company who is responsible for implementing the product or financial modules for any end user company, right? Same as support consultant. Once the project is or product is implemented for the end user company, right? So they need someone to provide support in terms of the product, right? So that is where support team are there, support consultants are there who work for providing supports in relation to any of the or multiple modules or multiple subject area. Then you have product testing, means this is a profile where your role is going to test what implementation has company has implemented for the end user company, right? So based on the best business practices, based on the business requirements, you prepare the test cases, you test it whether the implementation company has correctly implemented the product as per the business requirement, right? So that is also one of the important profile and nowadays very much in demand. Then last but not the least, freelancer and contractors. So as you know, after the COVID, this is where a lot of opportunities have been coming, remote working, freelancing and contractors opportunities, right? Because of the travel constraint that arose after the COVID. So this profile become widely acceptable. And nowadays also what happens is many of the companies they prefer remote working in terms of the Oracle support and implementation project, right? So then and there, you also have freelancing and contractors opportunity to work as a contractor in multiple companies. Even many of the consulting companies, they also hire freelancers and contractors to work on specific project implementation and support project, right? So that is also there, right? So equal opportunities, all of these here in consulting company, end user company, even vendor company. Now the question is why vendor company will be requiring this implementation consultant, support consultants and all, because vendor company is responsible for the development of the product, right? But if you see who's developed the product, Oracle Corporation. But in globally, Oracle do have or one of the wing which is known as Oracle Consulting, who also implements the project. So you have it in India in the name of Oracle, North America, Oracle solution services, right? And in almost all the countries you have their presence. Separate wing was responsible for implementing Oracle directly for the end user company. So it acts just like a consulting company. It implements for the end user company, and then and there you have these opportunities in the vendor company also, right? So hope this is clear. Now let me move ahead, a step ahead, right? So we have discussed this concept, vendor company, consulting company, end user company. So where exactly we lies in terms of example? So vendor company, Oracle Corporation, the US-based tech giant who has developed this product, recently announced itself as an AI company. So in line at par, making the product in line with the latest developments in the field of AI and machine learning. Okay. Consulting companies are those companies who are partnered with Oracle, who has industry-wide experience in implementing the Oracle product for various end user companies, right? So some of the examples here, there are a lot of hundreds of companies are there globally. Some of the recognized names I'm mentioning here so that can understand what are these companies or which all are these companies, right? So you have Accenture, Cognizant, Deloitte, some of the very renowned names, IBM, Infosys, PwC, TCS, Wipro, right? You have Oracle Solution Services itself available here, EY also there, right? Tech camp, right? Essential cognition, name every other big giant. It's there in the Oracle uh, consulting as an Oracle partner or consulting company, right? Some of the end user companies. So these are the examples that I've taken from the internet or from the official website of Oracle. These are some of the end user companies who are partnered with Oracle or who have preferred Oracle as their preferred ERP platform, Oracle product, right? So maybe companies working on SAP. Same way here, the companies are working on Oracle, right? So we might have some companies working on SAP, some Oracle, some Microsoft and all, right? So these are the companies which works on Oracle platform, right? Some of the renowned examples, Bharti Airtel Limited, SBI Cards, Uber US, Zoom US, FedEx, Mazda, Bosch, right? And multiple other big giant examples you'll be able to see, right? Just Google it out and you'll be able to find huge list of companies, some of the very renowned names across the globe which are available. And when I'm saying discussing these roles, right? Vendor company, consulting company, and user company, which means that opportunities are here, opportunities are here. And not only here in these companies, right? It's a huge list of companies. So even if you are willing to work with, not as a part of consulting team, but as a part of the end user company, so equally, you can apply for jobs here, right? The job opportunities are available straightforward. We need account payables consultant, we need general ledger consultant, end user consultant, right? That kind of job opportunities are available. We need financial consultant in terms of partners for implementation, for support project, right? That kind of opportunities you can expect in terms of Fusion Financial Cloud. Okay. All right. So hope this is fine, team. Now let's move to the second part here, which is understanding the Oracle UI on the landing page and all. Right. So let me open one Excel sheet here and let me give you a quick glance of that. All right. So here we are. Let me on the page here, sheet three, and give you some basic details. Now it's a cloud-based project product. Okay, software product. Now, there is no need to implement or to install something in your local system first, and then you'll be able to access this application. So it is not like that. What you exactly need, you need an active URL, you need an ID, you need a password. Okay. So let me go here. So I have a URL available here. Once you enter the URL, you'll be landing up on a page which is called sign in page or login page. Like this. Okay, so Oracle Cloud signing page, enter your user credentials here, user ID, password, and enter and sign in. So when you sign in for the very first time, this is how you're going to land on this landing page or dashboard where you'll be able to see various options which are available. Okay, so these options, each of these options represents certain subject area for which you are able to access that subject area. For example, if you talk from the finance perspective, you have receivables, payable, general accounting, you have fixed assets, cash management, all these modules are there. Along with this, we have some other modules also available, which includes your HR module, supply chain module, and all. Now, why I am able to see that? Because my user account, this one, HCM.lab, is an admin user and it's being used for the HRMS purpose also, for the supply chain purpose also, for the financial purpose also. And it has been linked with these functionalities, right? The excess of these functionalities has been provided. So that is the reason why you are able to see that. Now, if I'm going to create a user account, am I still going to see HR and everything? Answer is no. The thing is, we have something called role-based security. Role-based security means, let's say I have a user A, B, C, D, E, and different users who are working in finance team. User A is responsible for doing general ledger, B is responsible for accounts payable, C is responsible for accounts receivable, D is responsible for fixed asset, E is responsible for cash management. In that case, what happens is whenever the user accounts are created, they'll be giving the respective roles of the module, and based on the roles, they'll be able to access the functionalities, right? If they don't have any role, they'll not be able to access any functionality. Once they have the rules, they'll be able to access the functionality. They'll be able to perform various business processes then and there, right? Now here, one example is user A is responsible for general ledger, also responsible for accounts payable. So for user A, will be giving both the roles, general ledger and accounts payable, and that way he'll be able to access the functionalities of business processes. The first thing that you need to understand is it is not going to be default access of the whole application. It's a very big application. It's an ERP application. It has various different modules, various subject areas, various tracks like supply chain, finance, taxation. Then we have human capital management, manufacturing, operations, and all, right? So whatever is applicable in a given business environment is available, going to be available here, but you will be given access to only the required functionalities, whichever whatever is falling in your profile, only the access will be granted for those, and those access mechanism is called role-based access. Okay, hope that is fine. Now let's move to some of the basic parts here. One is if I got the access of the application, right? So what am I supposed to do first? There are a few things that we can check here. So if you go to the settings and actions on the very right side of the page, we call settings and action. Then there is an option called sign out. You can sign out from here, directly close the browser screen from here, or just click on sign out. One is the same thing. Also, as a part of the ERP application, right? This works on the browser. You can use any browser, Microsoft Edge you can use Firefox, you can use Chrome. It is going to work on each and every uh, browser. Okay, but the most effective experience is going to be on uh, Firefox, right? So although there's no restriction on the usage of other browsers, but Firefox, in my experience, Firefox, it gives the best results. But anyways, you can access to whatever browser that you have. Another thing is I can even open multiple tabs here. Means in one tab, am working on one screen, other tab on the same instance, I'm working on different screen. That is also possible. That is one of the limitation of other ERP applications, that only one tab at a given point of time. But it's a cloud-based, multiple screens you can work together parallelly. You can open a new tab in the browser and do it. So that is also something which is possible. Basic thing. Okay. Now, what I'm supposed to do here when I'm going to open the application for the very first time, right? So as an implementation consultant, now let's not talk about like as a student and all. Let's talk about as a team, as an implementation consultant you're working on. So what is the first step that you're going to do for the very first time? So you look into the last option which says about this application, right? So open this here, you'll be able to find something like this 26B 11 13 26040. What exactly that means? Very effective piece of information. As a consultant, you should be able to understand. This is called the version of the Oracle current version. So here you should be able to have an understanding of this. This is always going to help you out in understanding whenever you are doing the implementation, that whether you are having the latest updated application or you are having the older version of the application, right? Important piece of information. Now, how to analyze this, how to break the question analysis, right? So let me move a page before here. So here, let me copy this information and write it here. Here, okay. Let me delete this one. All right. 26B. Now, what happens is Oracle follows. It's a cloud-based product. Who is responsible for upgrading this product? Upgrading means new features needs to be brought in. So business requirements are always going to change. Requirements means dynamic business requirement. Business may require certain multiple functionalities. So it is not going to be the case like right from the beginning the business are following the same practice, right? Practice keeps on changing, regulation laws keeps on changing. Based on that, your system has to be at par with those compliance mechanisms, right? So what happens is Oracle follows something which is called quarterly upgrade policy. means in a year, 4 times system gets upgraded, right? So it's just like uh, when you use a mobile application, you receive the upgrade, right? You update the mobile app and then you get the latest version. Same way here also, there is a policy which is followed by the frequency is not like weekly and all. The frequency is quarter. Every quarter, Oracle release an upgrade. Your application gets upgraded. Who upgrades? Oracle upgrades. They have a schedule published. They inform in advance to the business that we are going to upgrade your application of this particular date. So that is how the upgrade policy works. Now, the question is what is done in the upgrades? New features are implemented. Any existing bugs and error that is identified in the existing version of the application, those fixes are deployed in the upgrades, right? So this is a regular thing across the globe, same policy, quarterly upgrades, right? The only difference can be here is the upgrade doesn't is not applicable on the same date for, across the globe, right? They have a fixed schedule, region-wise schedules are there that so in some region it will be done the first week, second week, third week, fourth week of the quarter and all, right? That like that way it is done. Always the business is well informed about the upgrade schedules well in advance that on which date and time the upgrades will be applicable. Okay. Number two, uh, each and every year. So for upgrades in a year. So what is the year frequency Oracle follows, or what is a calendar Oracle follows? So Oracle always follows Jan to December as their calendar for the purpose of upgrade, which means that Jan to March is quarter one, April to June, then July, August, September, October, November, December. Right. So what you'll see each quarter is denoted by A. Quarter one by A, quarter B, two by B, quarter C, three by C, quarter four by D. Okay, and year 2026. So here, if I read the first set of information which says 26B, 26 means year 2026. Okay, this is the current year version. B means quarter two, April, May, June. In which quarter we are sitting currently? We are sitting in the month of June. It is the second quarter upgrade already done. Means we have the latest upgraded version of Oracle. Once we move ahead in the month of July, so your third quarter upgrade, 26C will be due, and maybe in the first month itself, or based upon this whatever schedule Oracle has planned for this, you will be reaching out, or your system will application will be upgraded to another version, which is going to be 26C when you reach out to the month of July. Okay. So this first set of information is clear. Second thing is what is 11, what is 13. So the year 2011, the Oracle was released to the open world. So this is a static information 2011, representing 2011 when the first release was done. Then there is a release 13. So initially it was a new product, right? So a lot of bugs and errors were identified, or what not only bugs and errors, a lot of business requirements were identified when it was released to the open world that we require this and that and all. So a lot of development activities happened around the product, right? So finally, in the year 2017, there was a release called Release 13, which became the starting release. By that time, all the major features were implemented in Oracle were available in the Oracle, right? A lot of development activity happened from release 1 to release 13, and release 13 became the base release for the purpose of Oracle Fusion Financial. So that is called a kind of like static release, the base release for Oracle. So here always this is static value. You'll see 11, 2011, release 13, the year in which it became the release in which it became a static release. Then you have 26, which is the current year. 04, the month in which the application got upgraded, right? So April, May, June is the second quarter. So 04 means in the month of April this got upgraded. If it was 5, which means May it got upgraded. If it was 6, that means June it got upgraded, right? Point 0 means this is the first upgrade. Generally, it's one quarter, one upgrade policy that Oracle has. But sometimes what happens, let's say for some of the functionality, there is some severe bug which has been identified, security threat which is identified. Let's say, for example, I'm just giving you a case, right? Generally, doesn't security is adopted, but let's say for some reason multiple releases are going to be deployed, then this point dot zero will change to dot one, two, three, that way, right? So That is how you should be able to read the version. What is the reason why I should be aware of the version? The reason is I should be aware whenever I'm going to implement. So at that point of time, I should be aware whether the system is on the latest updated release, or are we going to expect an upgrade in the upcoming days, right? So before starting the configuration, should be aware of this part. So maybe the case business has some requirements that I want this functionality, which is not available in the previous release, but it is supposed to be available in the next release. So, how am I going to know whether it's a latest release or not? So that is the placeholder where I can go about this application, check what is the current release, any release is pending to be deployed on, right? So important piece of information. Majority of the consultants are not aware how to read this, right? But always as my students be aware of this concept. These are very basic things, right? Not yet reached to the configuration part, but prerequisite things how to read your application as a application consultant. Number two, a lot of options are applicable. As and when applicable, we'll look into that. Number two is set preferences. Always go to set preferences. Then there we have various options, including change in password and all. But we have to access this one here, regional. So what is regional? So under regional preferences, by default, you'll be having some options. By default, the territory for you is going to be United States. Any questions, please put it in chat. We'll discuss at the end of the session. So territory is going to be United States. Date format, default date format, time format, number format, currency, time zone will be there. Now, let's say it's a cloud-based project, right? So it doesn't require that if you are working on a US-based project, then you should be working in US only. I can sit here and I can deploy the US project right from here. And that's how remote working nowadays work, right? You're working on different regions from your place or whatever place it is, right? So then there might be the case. I'm working in India. I need all the timings and everything, territories and everything should be as per the Indian time zone. So this is one thing. So, so second thing here, date format, multiple date format, whatever date format you want as per your convenience, how you want to see the dates in the system in various pages. That is something you can select here. 01/01/2026. Okay, 01.01/2026. 01.01/26, 01 Jan 2026. These are different formats. One and the same thing, but different format, right? What are these format? dash dd dash YYYY. dot dd dot YYYY. dot dd dot YY. Okay. Then m dd/mmm/y, right? Multiple formats. A lot of formats are available. Whichever format you feel comfortable that I want to see the dates in this format, you can have that. Then same with the time, multiple formats of time are available, 24 hours, 12 hours, whatever you're comfortable in, where you want to see the timing that format, choose that. Uh, Third thing, which is this one, fourth thing, this is a number format. Again, comma separated numbers with decimals, comma, or in some region, instead of comma, this uh, exponent mark is there, right? So which number format you follow for your business, right? So it is not like what you want to prefer here. Whatever the format business follows, that you can have here. So I think this is one of the general format that we all follow. Currency. Okay, this doesn't mean that we are going to maintain all the financials in this currency. This is only the default currency. So whenever you receive any notifications from this system where it has any financial amount, so the default currency is going to be this one, right? So not going to have whatever impact, but you can choose one of the currency here with, let's say, INR and all, right? Time zone, how we want to see the time. If you are working in the US time zone, you want to see US time zone. Choose that. If you want to choose any other time zone, choose that, right? Important piece of information because by default everything is US specific, right? So maybe the case you're working in some other region, so you want to change this, right? So you should be knowing which what is the placeholder where I can change this regional preferences, right? Once that is done, even post, this is going to be applicable for your user account. It's not going to be applicable for others' user account. Each user can make their own preferences as per their choice. Okay, one thing, basic navigation. Second thing, how to set the preferences, how to read about the application. Now, let me tell you how to create a new user account. Okay. Although generally the case is you are going to receive a user credentials from the admin team from the business end, admin team who's managing the product project, right? You'll be receiving, but you should always know how to create a user account, right? So how we can do that? In order to create a user account, first you need a user account to access the application, right? So let's say this is the admin user account that we have here. Now, what you need to do, this is the logo, right? Vision logo is there of the demo instance, but this can be replaced with the actual logo of the business. Let's say we are implementing for Reliance logo can be there, HDFC logo can be there, whatever the business logo, whatever the theme and feel looks business want, color theme and everything is possible, right? But our focus is how to create a user account. So this is called navigator, these three lines on the top left, right? So we can click on this, scroll down, there is something called tools. No need to remember this, just for the basic understanding because we are going to use these options multiple times. So with time you'll be familiar. So under tools, we have something called security console. Okay. So go to security console. There we have these multiple options. So here we have the second option as users. Select the user option. And here we have an option called add user account. So what we'll do, we'll add the user account here, enter some basic information. Let me enter the basic information. Abhishek Kumar, email ID. All right. Then username. So one thing you need to make sure all the star mark fields are mandatory. I can skip first name, I can skip email ID, I can skip phone number, but I cannot skip my last name, I cannot skip my username, I cannot skip my password and confirm password, right? So anywhere where it is single asterisk or star mark, that means it's a mandatory field. Okay. Now, what system did, it copied my first name dot last name as my user 80. If I want to change it, that is possible. Let's say I want my user ID should be email ID. So I can copy paste my email ID and that is going to work fine. Enter the password here of your choice. Let me enter it here. Okay. Once that is done, you can save and close and your user account will be created. Now, once your user account will be created, right? Is it going to have the access of all the subject areas and all? Answer is it is not going to have the access. That is something we need to do through assignment of something called roles here, right? So let me search my user account back. Abhishek Kumar Finance at the rate gmail.com. When you open this, you don't have any roles assigned here. Till the time you don't have roles, you'll not be access any functionality, but I'll be able to still sign in into my account. So let me open another screen here. Enter the URL, enter the credentials. This time it is going to be my new credentials, new user account credentials. Enter the credentials, enter the password, and you'll be able to sign in your new user account. Let me click on this. This is a home page. You can click here. You can click on this logo and all, right? Both are going to take, sorry, on the home page. Now, if you compare, let me go to the home page here. This is my other account, admin user account. So my admin user account have a lot of options available here, wherein wherein my own user account, which is in the name of Abhishek Kumar, has only basic options, helpbacks, others, tools, nothing else. Okay. What does it mean? It means that I have not been assigned the relevant to access various functionalities. So that is where I need to assign the roles to my user account, and based on the roles, I'll be able to access the application in its full mode, including the functionalities, including the modules, including the configuration part. Okay, that is something we need to do. Okay, here, let me go back here to my other account, which is admin user account, which already has the rules, right? So first thing we are going to do is, are we going to directly look into the functionalities here? Answer is no. We are not going to start from here. We are going to build an application right from the scratch. So what we need to do here is go to setting and action. There is something called setup and maintenance. We have to use this setup and maintenance as a prerequisite. For the very first step, this is something that you're going to do. So click on setup and maintenance here. And here you have different sub setups or different subject areas, right? So you have public sector, recruiting, sales, marketing, service, student management, workforce management department, and all, including financials. So what you do is select the financials here. When you select the financial here, all the relevant module related configurations are available here. GL is available here in form of various tasks, your payables, your payment configuration, your task, cash management configuration, your fixed asset configuration, receivable configuration. Everything is listed here in terms of tasks, and these tasks you need to configure to reach out to a particular configuration or reach out to a particular solution, right? So the first thing that we are going to start up with is the configuration. The first module that we are going to pick is the general ledger, where we start with the discussion of the key topics, and then we'll move to the general ledger configuration, right? What we are going to follow here is, let me open the CWB here for your reference. So we are going to use something like this CWP, right? So if we are going to start general ledger configuration, so this is what we are going to use for doing GL configuration, because in the absence of this configuration workbook, it becomes very difficult to understand which task I need to configure, right? So general ledger, we have all the ledgers, GL related task here. So am I supposed to do one by same sequence? No, answer is no. These are not in same sequence. These are in random sequence. So am I supposed to remember that? So no, it's difficult to do that. Remember each and everything. Specifically, once you are having enough hands on that is where you'll be able to recall it. But as of now, it's difficult. So what we have easy way out here. We have the configuration workbooks here. All the tasks are listed here. If I go to the task, respective task will open. All the form along with sample data is listed here, right? So that is going to make the things much easier for, and right, if I already know what task to be configured next, then I already have this, right? I can use it as a track. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing which we are going to use here, let me give you an example here. So let's say this one. Okay, so what exactly this one is, call it as working notes. All the topics that we are going, it's not going to be the case that I'll start with the topic, I'll quickly jump to the task, configure the task. No, first I need to explain you what exactly the topic is, right? What are the prerequisite conditions? What is the enterprise structure? What is the related configuration? Each and everything we need to discuss here first in terms of the concept, then we are going to move ahead with the configuration, right? So that is something important. What we do on a daily basis within the class, we will be using this file called working notes. Whatever discussions we do here will be captured in the working notes, so that you need not to do that. You don't need to take screenshots and all. Recording is already on. Notes I'll be taking for you. I'll be sharing these notes to you so that whenever you're doing the practice offline after the session, so that you also can refer to these notes and you're aware what was discussed during the class. It is not going to be the case again and again. You're referring back to the whole recording and all. Not required. Go with the notes. Understand what exactly was discussed. Wherever required, refer back to the recording. Anyways, recording is going to be available uh, to you for your reference. Correct. So likewise, we are going to prepare notes on a daily basis. Whatever discussions we are going to do, topic wise, we are going to do it here. Okay. We'll be updating these notes on a daily basis. So on a timely basis, right? If it is applicable daily, I'll be sharing daily these files in the official WhatsApp group. If it is something requires weekly circulation, that I'll be doing. So all these documents also, along with these notes, will be shared. And we have a lot of documents going forward that is going to be used here, right? So all these documents will be sharing so that you can maintain a copy of this document, use it for your offline practice for referring back to these topics, what has been covered in the training program, right? So this is how we are going to cover this. All right. Now, what we are going to start from. So our first module is going to be there in the regular classes with general ledger, right? So that is something we are going to start. We'll discuss some topics in terms of the general ledger. It is going to be the base configuration, base module configuration. We'll start from there. A lot of new topics will be looking into the GL. Overall duration, as I mentioned, it is going to be 3 months standard duration, but it's going to take somewhat more than 3 months, so somewhere around 3.5 months. We'll try to close. We have a very tight schedule in the sense lot of topics we are going to cover in terms of configuration and testing, right? So we have a packed schedule, so we'll try to complete all the topics in the given deadline, right? So not just drag the batch for 5 6 months, the meaning of that, but we'll try to complete within the standard timeline for uh, three and 3.5 months, correct? Parallelly, what I expect out of you, if you are part of this training program, expect regular practice, right? First is do attend the class. Do not just be dependent on the recorded sessions that I'm not going to attend the class. I'll refer to the recorded session because whatever concept that you can cover or get clarification in the real day-to-day classes, workshops. So that may not be available in the recorded sessions, right? It's better to attend the class on the daily basis. Whatever questions you have, ask me. Whatever questions you have after the class, yes, we can connect to WhatsApp and all, right? So by that way, we both will be in the same line, right? So whatever is being discussed in class, if you practice on a daily basis or spare time or as per your availability, do practice so everyone is on the same page, right? Because things may look easy in the front end when I'm doing it in the class, right? But when you do the hands-on practice, that is where you'll be having real-time queries. Like what is going to happen if I do this or that, right? So make sure in order to have get the optimum benefit of this training session, you attend the class on regular basis, do practice on a daily basis so that you'll be able to get optimum benefit of this training program. Right. Now, let me move ahead with some questions here, team. Is this the place we set the function transaction reporting policy? No, answer is no, this is not the place. That is something we are going to do when we do the GL configuration. So that place we have the particular placeholder where we are going to set the currency options, right? This is just for the notification, the default currency for any system related notification that we're going to receive in the application where it is something related to any amount. So the currency of default currency of that amount is going to be the one which you have selected here. Otherwise, uh, the currency part we are going to select going ahead. Uh, Okay, so version part I've already explained. So whatever
Yeah,
was
good
applicable.
morning,
Yeah.
Mr. Abhishek. Could you just like once again, like once you just say like 26B, and I just would like to you to just reconfirm the one in the brackets, like 11, 13, and 26.4. Could you please explain once again, please? Thank you.
All right. So here we are. 26B. 26B means second quarter. 11 is the first year in which the Oracle was released to the open world, 2011. So 11 is equal to 2011. So that is going to remain static. Every version you'll have 11.13. 13 means the release, 13 in which Oracle becomes static. So 11, 13 is going to be there each and every version, right? So just to have that understanding that in the year 2011, it was released to the release 13 became static. Then you have 26, which is again year 2026. 04 represents the month, which is fourth month, which is April. So second quarter starts from April, May, June. So the application got upgraded in the month of April. That's why it's showing as 04. If it was 05, which means second quarter, month of 5, which is May, it got upgraded. Same way if it is 6, then in the month of June, it got upgraded. Dot zero means it's a first version of upgrade. Generally, it's one quarter upgrade during the quarter, but in some exceptional cases, by any chance, well, generally it doesn't happen that way. But if any chance there are more than one upgrades, then this will be replaced by dot zero, dot one, dot two, dot three, and so on. Right. So that is how you understand the version.
Sorry, you said this dot zero in the end, like basically like this has been upgraded. You said 26th of April. And how about this zero? Zero represents for?
Okay. So let's say in the month of April, there was a upgrade which was done, dot zero. Now, for there was some more upgrades that were done in the same quarter. So it's one upgrade in a quarter, but for some exceptional reason, let's say there was some bugs identified, there was some immediate new features that has to be released, which were not a part of the previous upgrade. So in that case, same, let's say April, another upgrade came, right? So then it will be like dot one, dot two, dot three, and so on, right? So the zero represent how many times the upgrade was done. So dot zero means once. After that, if it is done more than once, then this number will be replaced by one, two, three. So and in general doesn't happen. It's one upgrade. Oracle already maintains the schedule. They already plan in advance what needs to be upgraded, right? So there are no exceptions here, right? But if by previously it used to be there when it was in the year 2011 and so on, where multiple quarterly upgrades were done. But nowadays it's more year. All right. Moving ahead here. All right. So I think the admin team also given the payment link and here they have mentioned the early bird offer. Okay, I think they have extended the early bird offer. So those of you have not completed the enrollment part still and now we want to avail the admin this early bird offer. So I think that has been extended so you can make use of that, right? So do connect with the admin team. You have the numbers mentioned in the chat and all if you need any clarification or anything you have as a query. Certification every year, what is the cost? Okay, Oracle certifications, yes. So Oracle certification will be discussed in the regular classes. What are the Oracle certification? How much is the cost? What is the effective way of doing the certification? All those things will be covering here. Other areas like supply chain also in my training program I'll be covering only financials. If you're also interested in supply chain and all, so that is where you can connect with the admin team separately. So they'll be able to tell you more about the ongoing batches for supply chain. But financials are separate, supply chains are separate, human capital are separate. These are three different subject areas we have. Okay, one question around I have 10 years of experience and working as an Oracle Fusion technical for last 1 year. I want to transit into functional role. Will yes, yes. With on a if you're working as a technical role and this training program is more around the functional role only, right? So it has been designed that way, right? So you can take an advantage here. So if you want to transit into a functional role, going ahead. Okay. Yes, so we'll be covering end-to-end configuration, preparing configuration documents. Everything will be done here. Not only documents we'll be preparing, we'll be discussing the best business practices, applicable scenarios, and based on that, we'll be doing the configurations, right? So it's not just we'll move switch directly to the configuration. First, we'll talk about what are the applicable scenarios. Based on that, solutions you are going to suggest, and then based on solution, how to do the configurations. So all these things will be covered here in this uh, training batch. Can you share the form one more time? Okay, I think this is to the admin team. So the enrollment form, I think you are referring to. So yes, admin team will be sharing with the enrollment link, right? So it's there in the chat. If you just scroll up, it's there. All right, let me request to the admin team. Hold on a second. Yeah, so they'll be sharing, right? Just share your number in the chat, or admin team will share you something, right? All right, team. So this is it for today. So let's connect back 8:30 to 9:30 from tomorrow, Monday to Friday IST. And from there, we'll take it forward. So from tomorrow, it is going to be regular classes. Make sure you have completed the enrollment because based on that, admin team will be giving you the access of all the links and the recording portals and all. And also the updated meeting link will be shared accordingly, right? So thank you, team. Thanks for joining. Let's meet in the tomorrow's class. Have a great day. Thank you.